Welcome to Small Business Show Live. My name is Swire from Garuda Promo. Today we have an expert panel today, and also with a small business owner. We have Kim O'Hara from A Story Inside, and Mike Castiglione from Sandler Training, Shannon Horton from Digital Phases, and Angela Klenk from Beach City Estate Law. How you doing, guys?
Good.
Great. Good to see you.
Let's do a quick round of intro. Kim, can you tell us a little bit about who you are and service that you offer?
Absolutely. My name is Kim O'Hara. I'm an intuitive book coach, and my company is A Story Inside, as you can see from my website there. And I help professionals that come to me that are ready to write that book. They've been thinking about it for 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. They know it's going to accelerate their business. They know they have an amazing story to tell. Sometimes it's memoir, sometimes it's memoir self-help, sometimes it's how-to. I work with clients that are really wanting to aggressively publish, whether it's self or traditional, and get out there and speak and put their name out there into the world and show how they're unique.
How about you, Mike?
Yeah, I'm a business coach with Sandler Training, where we work with behaviors, attitudes, and techniques around creating business. So those who might be struggling with getting in front of enough new prospects, or those who just are really struggling with the inefficiencies in their pipeline, or excited to create a system to create more effectiveness and efficientness in their process. Glad to be back.
Shannon?
Yeah, my name is Shannon with Digital Faces. We are a social media ad agency, and one of the things we do is we take your sales process and put it on a digital platform, so that way your social media presence can actually get you a real return on investment. So excited to be here, guys.
Okay.
All right, Angela, so tell us a little bit more about your background, and then some of the questions that you have for us.
Terrific. Oh, and thank you for having me today. My name is Angela Klenk, and I'm the founding attorney with Beach City's Estate Law. We are a trust and estate law firm in the South Bay area of Los Angeles, and we serve clients all over the state of California, and even clients out of state who have an in California probate or trust administration. And I used to be with a very big firm, and I'm now on my own in the South Bay, and I bring the big firm sophistication and level of quality to more, kind of more in your neighborhood in the backyard here in the South Bay, where you don't have to go to a huge high price downtown attorney to get great service and a great product. So my first question is, a good part of our business comes from referrals from other professionals, such as financial planners, accountants, other lawyers. How should we approach these professionals to explain our capabilities, and who our target is, and how we can help them help their clients, and how do we stay top of mind with our referral sources?
So I'll jump right in, and then my first and foremost thing is reach out from a place of care. Don't reach out in the place of, hey, you got any referrals for me? But reach out and ask how they're doing and what you can do for them first and foremost. Always come from a place of service. And almost without fail, they're going to say, Angela, what's going on in your world? How can we help you? And that's where I would have, I'm sure Kim will help with the story, but that's where I would have 3 great pain points and stories that you've been working with. So lately, I've been working with this situation. I've also been talking to people about the second situation and then the third situation. So we have 1, 2, 3, and then have a call to action.
Okay.
Do any of those resonate with you or anyone?
Yeah, absolutely. So you're saying, like, in terms of, because I already have a bunch of people in my Rolodex. Mm-hmm. So at this point, I'm not thinking how to reach new people, but more, so you're thinking a series, phone calls, just touching base with the people I already know and just checking in, saying, hi, how are you? How can I help you? What's going on with you?
Absolutely. And then without fail, they're going to reverse it back to you and say, Angela, what's new in your world? Mm-hmm. You say, I've got this firm and I'm working with these 3 things. Anyone resonate in your world? And then leave it at that.
And, Mike said, actually, to jump in there, Mike said, come from a place of service. And I think, to play chess, I think you should, when you reach out, one of the things you can also ask is, hey, what kind of content, maybe delivering content to their database, right? So as a financial planner, you can say, well, how about we do a co-op video on, you know, how estate planning is very important in your overall financial plan. And I will offer a free discovery session for all your clients, right? And say that you sponsored it, right? So that's something that they could do. Or if you want to dive in deeper, I mean, watch what we do, not what we say, right? Swire did a very smart job on doing this show. So why not do a financial planning show while featuring a bunch of financial planners, right? And just another excuse to talk to them. Another thing could be a podcast, right? You can do a financial planning podcast where you just feature a bunch of different financial planners, and that's a way to get in the door, or even get, you know, just another way to get in front of them, right? So, you know, what do they want, and how can I provide that to them? They need content, right? So it's like, okay, how can we create content for your database, and that'll help you. You know, let me help you get on the bandwagon on this. So.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll jump. Kim, go ahead.
I was just going to toggle in off of that because it's a perfect segue to what Angela and I were talking about, because she's my book client and she's writing a book. So she has a book. Okay. So there's no better product than to call up the financial people and say, I'm going to send over some free copies of my book. That's really the first step how-to on estate planning. And that way they look like heroes. Everybody wants to be a hero, right? So if you're dealing with a financial planner, they want to be able to say to their clients, I've got your person for estate planning, got someone trustworthy. They wrote a book about it. They're clearly an expert on it. And going off of what Shannon was saying, and we were just talking about this, the first chapter of your book is basically like why you should have an estate and why you should have a trust. We kind of really got it condensed. You could send that as one download. You could send that as the first chapter of your ebook that you give away for free to someone else's list. Start combining the lists. If you do a show like Shannon suggested, you could do a book giveaway. I mean, that's the possibilities once you have a book are. And also, like, you can call up people, and a great conversation starter is, I heard you wrote a book. I wrote a book too. Now you're in a club.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a good way to, PR is great. Once you have the book, you could, get, go on TV shows, get on Money Talks. And I think what you're referring to, Angela, is you want to build a power partner. So a power partner in your industry will be I can think of as will be a financial advisor, maybe a CPA firm, maybe a family office, or even a family law attorney. So all that tie in together. So whenever there a life-changing experience, I think your service will come in hand. Right now, we're going through a life-changing event for all of us right now. So there are going to be a lot of movement, a lot of confusion too, a lot of questions. So maybe there is a client that you're trying to get for, and then talking to a financial planner after they finish, would you wanted to, talk to a estate attorney to update some of the things that we had talked about, or maybe CPA. So I think finding the right power partner for your business, I think, is crucial. And because your attorney, you won't search for estate attorney. I would search for a restaurant on Google. It probably comes from a referral. And then I think Shannon can get onto this part. I looked at your website, and also there's a Google listing. You are listed on several search website, but then I think you should be responding, and you should have a little bit more review on Google My Business and also on Yelp, because once I have a referral, for example, for a restaurant, and then I'll go look at the restaurant, I look at the review that they have, look at what they have done. So Shannon, do you want to touch on some of that?
Yeah, I mean, I think the best way we found out to get reviews, especially since you're in B2B, is review them first and then call them and say, hey, I just sent you a review. Let me know what you think about it. It's so impromptu. It's not expected. And then just say, hey, since we're working together on a couple of past clients, I decided to give you a review. I think in these times right now, we all need great reviews. So, if you can also, here's my Yelp. If you feel free to review me as well, but just kind of like you said, offer the value up front. Again, maybe the first call could be, hey, how are you? The second week could be, hey, I have a book. Here's a free chapter. The third week could be, hey, I reviewed you on Yelp. So divide these up into, hey, there's 5 to 8 touches I can do to all my financial planners in 1 month, right? And every week I'm giving them something. So it's like, I can't wait. So don't bunch all this up into, one touch. You can say, hey, let me see how they are. Week 1, week 2, let me send them my book. Week 3, let me give them a Yelp review. and see if I can get one as well. Week 4, let me see if I can feature them on a show, right? So now your financial planner is getting in touch with you, and you're top of mind.
Yeah, either go-to person.
Got it.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're the face of the business now. Like
Yeah.
this is the whole persona and what you emulate going out there, and that makes you stand out among all the other estate planners that are out there.
Got it. Okay.
Angela, I'm going to add one more thing.
Sure.
We talk about power partners, and I think they're essential. But I think we're leaving the elephant in the room is your current clients. Those are your best referrals. And too often business owners don't ask for referrals. They get this head trash, I call it, of I don't want to bother them. I just want to do good work, and maybe if they're happy, then they'll refer me. About 20% of all clients will refer you. About 20% never will.
Right.
There's 60% in the middle that will if you ask right.
But how do you recommend? How do you ask right? What do
I have the perfect idea.
I'm curious about this as well. I'm all ears.
So first and foremost, you want to do good work. So I like to start to plant the seeds once you have the business. So it looks something like, Angela, I'm looking forward to getting started. At the end of this process, if you're happy with what we do you think we could have a conversation of anyone in your network who might benefit from this? It's non-invasive. It's if we do good work and you're happy, of course you're going to do good work. You're a professional. And then you've planted the seed. So in a couple months when you come to fruition and it's, hey, remember when we were talking, are you happy? Similar to like what Shannon was saying, you do it step by step. You let them know, hey, can we have 5-minute conversation around digging into who might benefit? So then you set them up. Because if you just ask anyone on the spot, they're going to say, let me think about it. But if you encourage them down the road, and then when you have that conversation, they're much more apt to actually give you a referral.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's a good way to use, promotional products. So when they finish the order, you actually give them something, and then in return, and then the flavor is, I hope I do a good service, live up to your expectation. And then, like Mike said, do you have someone that you think might benefit from my service? Or if they're too busy or they don't want to get referral, like what I would do for every client, I'll send them the link to my Google, My Business, and my Yelp review. Can you write us a review? Not in specific, obviously, but then to tell people about your experience, because, when we were talking off air, you say, I don't compare myself to like template type of estate planning. Why would people want to consider your service compared to, just a set template? So your actual paying customer actually are telling the story for you. So that will help grow your business.
Okay. And so
I want to say one thing about Swire, because I love what Swire does, and he's doing all this, and I'm a story person, so I have to throw it in. So Swire, while you were talking, I was like, everyone loves hats. We all read what's on hats, right? And I was thinking if Angela and I could come up with some really good tag, like estate right here or something like that, and they could put it on the hat. Then when they're done, you give them a hat. It's the beach, it's the bay, like you need to get away from the sun. And now they're literally walking around with something that says your company in the back of the hat and a fun tag on the front, like I'm square or my estate's done or something like that. I just wanted to throw that in.
Oh, that would be cool. So back to the so those are awesome ideas. I'm now trying to play around here to get my questions back up again. Hold on 2 seconds. Okay. With going back to what Swire you were talking about, asking the current clients for the reviews, is there should this be part of like when I finish an engagement with a client, maybe some series of emails or letters that kind of thank them for their business and what have you? But when you're asking for the reviews, am I like just giving them a link to Yelp, or is there, I've heard some people talking about review services that they use to kind of compile, help get these reviews. And I haven't delved into that at all. Does anybody know anything about those?
Shannon, do you have a good way for that?
I've tried those review services. They haven't worked as well as just asking. They're trying to make it easier for you, but at the end of the day, no bot, no machine is going to be able to, especially when it comes to a review. it's something it's kind of has to be personal. And one of the things simple things that I do is after I'm done with a client and they tell me, oh my God, thank you so much, I'm so happy, I say, can you do me a huge favor? And they're like, yeah, what is it? Can you give me a review on Yelp? And they're like, oh yeah, of course. When I make it a big deal for me, like, can you do me the biggest favor in the world? Like, you're going to save my life. And they're thinking, what do I need? Do I need to drive to your house and take your grandma? What do I need to do? And like, I just need you to review me on Yelp. Oh, okay, no problem. Do you have the link? Yes, I do. Well, here you go.
Okay. And then for my market, do we think Yelp is the way to go, or Google, or what?
LinkedIn. I mean, I think LinkedIn is. I mean, I'm surprised you guys are talking about Yelp, because I don't know as a book coach if Yelp would be where I would go, but LinkedIn feels good. But the issue with LinkedIn, and I know Mike and Shannon can speak on this too, is you have to really engage. Like, I find even if I just put riveting stuff like an interview or something up, even if I put this video later up on LinkedIn, if I'm not commenting on other people's material and reading other people's articles, so it is more of a laborious process. And I do have a lot of reviews on LinkedIn, like really good reviews. And I'm not 100% sure at this moment who reads them, but I know it's a good place to put them as a professional. Mike, do you have more to say on that?
I use LinkedIn. I don't use Google or Yelp. So
as
a professional service, most people are vetting me through LinkedIn. First and foremost, who am I connected with? What are the comments about me? What are my skills? And then what are some of the comments people have made about my training? So they on LinkedIn. How intense they look at it depends. But yet not to say that I couldn't, but I haven't focused on Yelp or Google.
And I would reverse engineer your financial planners, right? I'm not attached to any platform, so it's just where are you, right? So ask financial planners, hey, when you look for an estate planner, do you look on Google? Do you look on Yelp? Do you look on LinkedIn? Let them tell you, right? I'm not a financial planner, so I couldn't tell you which platform to be on, but I can tell you, ask them, or sometimes you kind of know, like, okay, where do they go, when they're looking for an estate planner, right? And then just use that platform, reverse engineer it. That's what.
Yeah. And, one unique challenge I have is that even though I do a lot of my business comes from referrals, so I'm marketing to the professionals, the financial planners, the accountants, the attorneys in other areas, but I also need to have messages out there for the actual consumer, because when they get the referral from their financial planner, they're probably going to go and see what's my Facebook page like, what does my website look like, and they might even go to Yelp and see am I there. So my question is about my message, because our firm prides itself on our warm and engaging approach with our clients, being able to simplify their complicated lives. But on the other side of the coin, we're very strategic, very aggressive in protecting their interests and getting them the results that they need. So in our marketing, should we, or how do we, communicate these two seemingly divergent things, or should we not try to combine those two?
I mean, I think when you're dealing with referrals, a lot of things that people aren't talking about is internal content, meaning that, if a financial planner is referring you, can you give them a YouTube video that they can give to their client on expecting the process? So like, let's say if you do invest in 3 videos to create, right? One is about your story, because I love that story about the sandwich generation. That's like really amazing, right? Your process, right? Hey, if there's a discovery session, there's a summary estate, there's a documentation preparation, there's a signing ceremony, right? Those 4 processes, why don't you do a video explaining, hey, you probably just got referred to me by your financial planner. I want you to know what you can expect from us before you give us a call. Give that link to your financial planner and say, hey, when you refer us, here's a link that you can give. And then if you want to go even deeper, you can customize it to that financial planner and say, hey, Shannon from ABC Finance just referred you. If you're seeing this video right now, I want to introduce myself and explain the process before we get on the call. So now you can say, hey, Shannon, I have this video and then at the end you can say, hey, at the end, here's a couple of reviews from me and Shannon's firm, so you know that you're in good hands. Thank you so much. I look forward to speaking with you. So a lot of people don't talk about internal content that gives the financial planner stuff that they can give to their client that's easier to make that transition for you.
Yeah, I love that. I love that idea.
And I think you're doing a really good job. I've been to your website. You have a lot of blog posts, so do you utilize on those? And to build on top of what Shannon has said, you might want to reach out to a financial planner that you already have a good relationship. Get a quote from them. So according to financial planner in this firm, they say this is the way to build your family's legacy. So then you have them on it, and then you guys will be co-promoting. But just like we're doing the show right now, after the show, and then we're all going to promote to our network. And then you can grow your network to grow your power partner that way. You have a lot of blogs. I'm really amazed with the content that you have. And then, like you said, when the actual end user, the client, want to search for it, do a Google search on your name and do a Google search on your business name. So I see there is a bar association that has your name on it. And you also on the Torrance Chamber of Commerce, you also on Glassdoor. But then there are actually some reviews on there. You can actually respond to that. So do keep in mind, it takes a little bit of your time, but if you want to see how you come up, do a search on yourself and any keywords or any blog posting that you have, then you see how do I come up, because when you, for example, your most recent 5 blog posts, if you search for the title on Google, is your blog post showing up? If not, how could you make it show up more? Because when people read onto the blog post, they're on your website. So maybe they will click on more service, or maybe they will contact you based on that.
Okay.
Yeah, and I want to jump in off of the story. She was mentioning her story and these 2 oppositional sides to the story being, aggressive and now's the time to get your estate done, and also family friendly, and that care and that appreciation for the deeper conversation that people have to have when they go in and make an estate. And as a testimonial to Angela, she was my book client before she became my estate planner. It was in hearing her write her book and talk about this way that I was leaving my children kind of with a potential mess someday, that I felt emotionally moved to be more of a responsible parent. And I hired her to create my estate and trust. So now we're each other's clients. So I was able to see where emotionally she was, where she was leading me with knowledge, but at the same time tapping into that, oh, I don't really want to do this to my kids. I don't want to leave them with a mess. So I think there could be a combination of the messaging that says, it's sort of like with book coaching, I'm like, oh, that's wonderful. I know it's been a long time, but are you going to do it now or what? At some point you got to put them to the fire, And so I think what Swire was saying, you have a lot of blogs, maybe mix and matching a combination, like some urgency matched with some emotional, because people that don't come through financial planners, they're going to come through resonating with that pain point. I think before we got on the call, Mike was saying, have your 3 pain points that your clients are at. For me, it was my children. That was my pain point.
Yep.
And Shannon, I think you posted today 80% educational, 20% promotional. Does that apply here?
Oh yeah, that was that was one of my Instagram posts. Yeah, it's like on social media. He's referring to a post that we said, 80% of your content should be informational, 20% should be promotional. And the whole goal is, how can I get people's attention, right? Especially when we're on social media, and this was specifically for social media, we go on there to escape from reality, right? When we're bored, when we're frustrated, we're going to go on social media for a little bit just to, scroll through. So, if they're scrolling through, and again, you can reverse engineer your client's pain points, right? Hey, do you have kids? Have you left? Do you have properties? Do you have, assets, that you haven't properly planned out for the future? Here's some of the things that you could do to avoid that. And this is the thing, when people create content, if you create content giving them what you would do for them, a lot of people are kind of hesitant to say, oh, I don't want to give them the information, to do it for themselves. But with my experience, for example, I did a video on 5 ways to get your website done. And one of them was get quotes from 3 people. And I had a guy call me saying, hey, I loved what you had to say in your video. I want to get a website done. And I'm like, okay, great. Did you call 3 people? He said, no, I just called you.
Well done.
You will tell them sometimes they just want to see someone who's authentic and will give right information, but 9 times out of 10, they're not going to do it themselves. So don't be scared about that. Right. But the person who is willing to divulge more information is 9 times out of 10 going to win over the other competition. So.
And let me put both Kim and Shannon together for you, Angela, is from a place of care, but pain focused. Don't talk features and benefits. If they can Google it, don't promote it.
Okay.
I love storytelling and talking about the problems you've solved or the emotions that the people that you work with have beforehand. That's going to resonate more with people. And then as Shannon's talking about educating, those are pieces that you layer in. You don't push that out on everybody. You can have those as kind of like a sequence as you're giving it to them. You have it available on your website when people are trying to find you. But when you are reaching out, it's coming from a place of storytelling and from pain. Do they resonate with that? Because if they do, all right, now I want to have a conversation. If it's features and benefits, what makes you any different than, like we were talking before, is something like a website online, which we won't name, that may be a little less than price. So you want to make yourself stand out that you help this specific demographic with this specific problem.
Yeah, Angela, and I think once the book come out, then you have, a lot of information. Think about other partner too. I think it will make sense. For example, you do probate and you do elder law. So you could have, help life insurance agent to sell long-term care insurance and then give them a book. And then you could be their resource if they want to sell those type of insurance. And you probably should talk to your estate planning attorney. So those you could, open up a lot of, kind of like your sales force too. When they do life insurance, they probably want to care about estate planning too. So those are natural referral partner. And there are a lot of insurance agents out there who are dying for more education and resources. And, with the book, I could see a whole different way for doing public relation, education, speaking engagement. And then if you like, you could be like the expert on, the subject of estate planning.
Yep. Well, terrific. How much more time do we have? Do we have time for another question, or are we?
Time goes by fast. We try to stay about 30 minutes. But what question do you have?
Oh, wait, shoot! I keep losing it. Where is it going? Let's see. So the other thing that we were talking about before the show is, my service is a premium service. It's not, it's not the $2,000 or the, some lawyers will do it for $2,000 or some websites will do it for $500 or less, but mine is definitely a premium product. So how do I communicate the value of that product and that the value of spending this additional money without going into the features and benefits because it's all emotional. Like I know what you're saying, like it's people make decisions emotionally and then they use logic to make it make sense.
People buy emotionally, justify intellectually.
Right.
So, and to jump in just because of time, it's first and foremost, it's your process you take them through. As you ask them questions, as you take them through, and as you engage them, it's not giving away free consulting. It's being able to identify the right client. Not all buyers are your clients. So be okay with no, be okay with the qualifying process, but more importantly, your process should provide value. When you're having those questions, and you're coming from a place of so much experience and so much value, so that you're worth that. And you're going to take them through the whole process versus them doing it on their own. So asking questions about your value proposition, do you want support in this? Are you frustrated with a challenging process? Asking them, and as they articulate, you can hear, yeah, this is someone who I could work with, or you know what, a certain website I can send them to is probably what they're going to go for, and because they're just looking to do it on their own in a quick and easy fashion. So qualify them through your process, and that's how you get around, this is my price tag in the beginning, because you never want to tell your price at the beginning. People have sticker shock.
Yeah, those are, I got to tell you, these are some amazing tips that you guys have given me. Like I'm super excited that I came on this show, and like I really learned, like I've been in coaching and gotten lots of business advice, but the stuff that you guys have pinpointed for me, I really thank you. Thank you.
And Angela, I want to add to that point of, how do I make sure it's a premium service? Mike can really help you with the sales part of it. On the branding and marketing side, and what you've done on your website, make sure it's high quality content, right? So, I love your website because it shows quality, right? And quality will scare away cheap people.
Okay.
Right? So, when you jump into video, if you do, make sure to get a high quality video, because again, especially people at these levels, they're used to quality, right? They're more educated. They will read a little bit more because they have a little bit more time, right? So you've done an amazing job with your story, your content on your website, and then whatever you do, newsletter, Yelp, whatever, make sure it looks quality, right? Because, like attracts like, and people of quality will be attracted to quality content, quality writing, quality images, quality text. So on the branding side, make sure it's all of quality as well.
Yeah. And actually, and perfect timing is that, it's the beginning of the summer. I just have hired 3 summer interns to help me with marketing. So now I have people, because I got to say, that's one of the biggest challenges is finding time to do everything that you've just talked about. And so I think this show is going to be a great blueprint for me working together with my interns and actually implementing all of the things that you've suggested. So thank you so much. And I think this is a great opportunity for me to be on this show. And thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you guys.
So we always like to finish with, what's 1 or 2 tangible things? Thank you for all the compliments. But what are 1 or 2 things that you're going to commit to getting started right away?
I am going to commit to making a little YouTube video about how to, now so that the referral sources can have a video to just forward to their clients that will just introduce me and say what's going to, now that Joe has referred you, here's what happens next, so that they don't have to be, just walking away from the office with a business card and not know what to do, or not, be, have, so I'm going to commit to making that video, and I'm going to commit to to putting reviews up for my top referral sources, and then asking them for reviews.
Great. Thank you, Angela, for coming on the show. Thank you, Kim, Mike, and Shannon for coming on. If you like the content, please like Facebook page. And if you like the channel, subscribe us on YouTube. And thank you so much for coming on, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
So if you want to stay for a second, I think
sure.
well, you were going to